Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? It is a new day, it is a new week, and it's time to get social. My name is Kavana, and welcome to the Introvert's Social Hour. Welcome to the Introvert Social Hour. My name is Kavana. This episode, we are talking about what it is like to be a Disney adult, embracing the magic as grown-ups. Today, I've brought my friend Daniel, a fellow Disney adult, to talk about all the fun things in regards to Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, and all the places we haven't been yet. So I'm really super excited. Daniel is the reason why I have explored Disney so much. He had to be the person I bring on for this. He's the reason I've been to Disney more than I thought I would, for sure, for sure. And got to experience like different parts of Disney and actually just explore versus just like go for a day and rush it. So super excited to talk about this. But welcome, Daniel. Woo woo.
Hello.
I am excited. I said it already, but I love Disney. So we both love Disney. So this is why we're here.
Yeah.
Um, I did want to ask, like, first, what sparked your love for Disney parks and how did it evolve as you grew up? Like what made it stay? Because I feel like a lot of people, it's like, oh, I went to Disney when I was a kid. Yeah, sure. And then they get older and they're like, yeah, like I don't know, you kind of like lose that magic, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't, I think maybe I went when I was like four. And so it was one of those where like did not remember. And then after that, it was just kind of like either I never had the time or we never had a time as a family or like we didn't have the money or whatever. So my like first time actually remember going was for senior night in high school. And I was gagged. I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. This is so much fun. But I think what got me was the like shows and like the
Yeah.
fireworks shows and the like theatrical shows. Because I think for me, it was like, oh, like this is so much fun and we just get to hang out and play. But I
Mm,
think when I moved to San Diego, got my season pass, and it was going every Monday, um,
literally.
literally, um, for me, it was more of like school was so hard. I was away from family. And I had a friend from high school who was working at Disney, so I was able to see her every single time I went.
Mm.
And so it was just kind of one of those, it was my happy place. Like I could
Yeah.
go when I was sad, I could go when I didn't want to do class, I could go when I hated my life because school was too hard or I missed
Mm,
home or whatever it was. And then it just kind of became a thing where like I went just because I wanted to have dinner, or I went because I wanted to see a show, and then I would like go back home. And I think having the season pass allowed me to enjoy Disney that way and enjoy
mm,
it where I could just take my time and find the pieces that mattered to me. Um, and like I think that's why when COVID hit, I was so sad because I was like, oh, where's my happy place?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I definitely was not those people growing up where I was like Disney my whole life. It was until I got to college and it essentially was this is the place that is keeping me alive.
Mm, mm. So it's like your self-care, but also
Mm-hmm.
kind of like literally like that's your like you said, your happy place. Like
Yeah,
in a way, it's like if I'm not here, like listen, I'm not doing it right.
yeah. And
That
I
makes
was like
sense.
thinking about it all the time. And when I was in class, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to get to Disney.
Hmm. That's a yeah. For me, it's the same. I listen, affordability and things like that. We'll talk about that too. But my family has still not went to Disney. I'm the one who has been privileged enough to go, whether it be with friends or on my own. But I did not go also until my grad night as well. I didn't go on the like Disney grad night. We couldn't match it up that way. But that was the first time I went and we got split tickets for Disney. Well, when you got the park hopper for 200. That's not really a thing.
Yeah.
But I experienced Disneyland and California in one day though. So everything was very rushed. At that time period, I was going with people who also hadn't been, so we were just like, let's just see what looks fun. I hadn't went to any shows or anything like that, and I was told, yeah, don't really buy food because while my mom was able to give me the ticket for Disney, like she got a little bit here, but it was like take snacks. So I didn't get the full experience until college when I went with you. And then after that, like the two times from my past. Um, but that was the first time I was like, yo, I've been missing out. I was
I'm
like,
telling you.
listen, I'll stand in lines here or there for, well, I feel like the line, well, to be fair, I haven't went to Disneyland since COVID, but when I went to Disney World this past summer, it was a lot in the line department, but we got lucky for different reasons on how to get past them. But the lines were long. But I was like, I'll stand in lines and, do all this. It's like, this is fun. This is a vibe. But in college, got to, like you said, like slowly experience it a bit more. You knew more stuff, so I was following you around. Like, where are we going? Like, I tell me what you enjoy. And then I went back those last two times to use the pass. I got to experience shows like the Magical Map. Um,
I love
yeah.
the map.
hmm It was so funny because that was the time I went to Disney. I was like, oh, I need to go because I need to use this pass up and I'm not about to let it go to waste. I got one more day left. Took a bus to Anaheim. Yeah. I said, let me hop on this bus, go to UTC. They pick up, got on the bus. I said, we got to have a day trip. Ended up seeing
Mm-hmm.
someone from college there, which is hilarious because we didn't plan that. We were sitting at the Magical Map together, like, ooh,
Oh,
okay.
period.
And then, but no, I love I don't mind doing things by myself. So also Disney by myself, as you know, because you've done it a lot at this point,
Mm.
is a vibe. Like I was just vibing. I was like, where are we going next?
You don't have to
Sitting on
worry
the
about
ride.
anybody and you could do your own thing. And like if you're
Mm.
over something, you can just be like, okay, I'm done, and then leave.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's still you. I don't think I would ever get over anything. Yeah. Like,
That's fair.
yeah. Because I feel like you've done it so many times. I feel like I'm gonna be here. I'm
That's
gonna get this money and go the whole day. Um, But yeah, I do enjoy Disney by myself. But I also, if you go with the right people, it's also a super fun experience.
fair.
Because going with Sabrina, Nicole, Cassandra, that was like we matched up so well, and that was also perfect. So
I will say I was very jelly of that trip, seeing all of y'all there.
sorry. Now you're here in New
Yes.
York, so whenever that happens, we can go together. But I am trying to go for Halloween next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, Out of curiosity, what is your like ideal day? I wait, double checking. Have you been to Disney World?
No,
Okay, that's what I
no.
thought. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the T. I've been to Paris and I've been to land,
Okay.
but
Well,
I've
you're
not been.
getting closer.
I know.
Infinity Stones of Disney. Yeah.
Need to go down there.
Um, okay then. So what is your ideal day at Disneyland? Are you going to Magic Kingdom first? Are you going to California Adventures first? Are you doing a park hopper, or are you just staying at one park? Do you have like what's the ideal day if you have one to go?
So usually ideal day, I would start at California Adventure. I think
Mm.
that is the park that is better to do during the day. You get
Okay.
on, I make sure to get on Guards of the Galaxy, even though I will forever stand that them getting rid of Tower of
Tower Terror
Terror
is so fun.
was a tragedy. And I hate that they got rid of it.
That's why you got
But
to
I
go to
love
Disney
Guardians of
World.
the Yes, yes, that is
That's why you
one
gotta
of the
go.
only reasons I want to go to Disney World. But I will say, Guardians of the Galaxy, the actual like drops, I think are a lot more fun now because there's a
Okay.
lot more to the drops. But I
Mhm.
would do that, and then I would go like Cars. Cars is always the hit or miss. So this is if I'm doing rope drop, Cars is the first thing because if I can't get into a line within that first hour of Disneyland, it's
Too
not going to
long.
help.
hmm
And then I like go get a drink
hmm
from Lamplight Lounge on the
hmm
pier. And
Okay.
then I do Incredicoaster. And then after that, we dip to Disneyland and I do everything there. I try to start at Tomorrowland and
hmm
just make my way to the back of the park.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So are you telling me you skip California Soarin'? Soarin'? You skip Soarin'? That's what you do? Okay.
And not, oh no, I feel like I'm going to be attacked about this because
No, no, you're good.
I know that California Soarin' is like the person that she is.
Yes.
I know that she is.
Mhm.
I just like the line is too long for the ride that it is.
That's fair. I understand.
And I
Yes.
think the location where it's at, I forget that it's back there. But the time of the night where I'm like, let's get on it. If I do see
Mhm.
it, it's either too late, too long of a line, or my body hurts
Mhm.
and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
T, oh my,
Yeah.
keep forgetting
Yeah,
about
because now that we're having this conversation, I realized when we went together that time,
we didn't.
you didn't take me there because I was
I
like, I said I didn't know
part of it
about
too,
this.
I forget that she's there.
You
I
you're
forget
just
like the
tucked
same
away.
way I forget that like jungle gym like obstacle course. I forget that that's
Hmm.
there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
Yeah, because James and Sarah, I went with James and Sarah that year as well. And James was like, "Oh, we got to do this. We got to do this." And I was like, "Oh, what is it?" And I was like, "Wait, this is a vibe. It's very peaceful." Mm.
yeah, those things I like forget about sometimes because they're just tucked away.
Yeah, that's fair though. Disney World is more, well, it's low-key tucked away still. Because
Mm.
it's in a building, so you got to know where it is. When you,
Oh,
yeah, like it's in a building that's also has a food court. So it's also still low key tucked away. But it has this big old sign though when you're in the
is it
building.
in Epcot?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So I had to ask because I was like, wait, is Soarin' not a part of this?
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair
no.
though. Go to the higher end ones.
It's
I've only
also one
ridden
that
cars
like
once, fun fact.
this one also is gonna gag people. I have never been on Splash Mountain
Ever, ever?
ever, ever.
Oh, that's shooketh to me because
Because I don't like getting wet.
that
I
makes
d-
sense.
in an amusement park, I don't like getting wet because then I'm uncomfy. And then I have to find somewhere to change if I do have clothes to change. And then I'm mad because I'm chafing. It just
Yeah.
I and so that's why like with the new Tiana ride, I'm like, I know I need to ride
You
it.
got to plan. You got to get a poncho.
I have yes. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna like it'll be the last ride I ride so that way I can just go home.
Or if you really
Or the
wanted to
first one.
vibe, and let
So that I
yourself
know
dry
I
off or change. But if you have a
yeah.
poncho, you're set. Because I don't know if Sabrina told you the story. When we went to Disney World, we went on their water ride, the Rapids.
Mm,
Um, Homegirl got wet and she was mad
yeah,
because
I
yeah, so I understand. I got lucky because Andrew and I got lucky being in the right spot. Nicole had a poncho on. But yeah. But for Splash, I've ridden it twice. Have I ridden it twice or just once? I've ridden it twice. Once
mm,
at grad night, second time actually like with open eyes as an adult. When I went with James and Sarah, I because actually, yeah, no, I did. Ooh, I'm having a brain fart. I definitely went for grad night, but my brain for some reason can't like connect the dots of me seeing it for the first time because I remember when I was with James and Sarah, I was like, this is a storyline. So I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
I
other
hadn't
part.
been.
The storyline is a ton.
Yeah, I was like really confused. I was like, this is kind of creepy. I was like, why is he hanging over here? I was like, what? And I was like, this is everybody's favorite ride. And I was like, okay.
Hmm.
It was Matterhorn I hadn't been on. I've never been on Matterhorn because it was closed. Yeah, it was closed. But I think the comparison to that might be Mount Everest at Disney World. I think. Could be wrong.
Oh, the one that goes backwards.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See,
I don't
that's one that when I get to Disney World
you're
immediately,
gonna love it.
because
You're
I
gonna
have
love it.
everywhere. I saw the show when like they were making it, when they were bringing it
Mhm.
up, when they talk, and that's one that I want to ride so bad.
You're going to love it. You're gonna want to ride it multiple times. We were lucky enough to ride it twice. It is a fun time. It's a very
T.
cooling experience though, because Florida's hot in the summer. And like it's legit
Mm,
actually when you're inside the like mountainy tunnel while the ride is going on, because it slows down as you go backwards. You got the monster yelling at you, roar, and it's like cool breeze
uh,
of air. It's very nice. That's just a
oh,
random note, but I like that. One of my favorite rides at Animal Kingdom, the best ride at Animal Kingdom, I would
you
say.
didn't ride. Actually, I guess it would be the Navi ride.
Oh no, I did. Navi Rapid Rivers is very calming and cool. It's pretty.
Mm.
I would say the Flight of Passage. So I would say Mount Everest first because for a good roller coaster ride, Flight of Passage is fun. It's what people say it's like soaring, but on steroids. That is their comparison. Because you actually feel like you're flying, like you're
Okay.
really engulfed, yeah, in the experience. And then Navi Rapid River is was just like very calm, cool,
Mm.
collected. It's like like when you like a calm, like pretty ride, like it was just very gorgeous. Yeah,
Like it's a small world type of deal.
yeah, but better though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
What about, do they have Indiana Jones?
They don't, which was the unfortunate part because that's my favorite ride at Disneyland. But they have the Indiana Jones like action stunt show, which was
Ah,
fun to
okay.
watch. Yeah,
Okay. Because
but
like
no
Paris,
ride.
they have their Indiana Jones is an outdoor roller coaster.
Ooh,
Like
but
an actual
different.
like loop de loop and everything.
Got it. Okay. Was it worth it? Was it like good? A good roller
Yeah, it
coaster?
was so much. I
Okay.
will say, I think like they just have a lot less rides. And so I think the rides that they do have are just like more thrill. Like Space
Yeah.
Mountain is an outdoor roller coaster.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not Space Mountain. You like shoot out of a telescope and it's like very celestial themed.
Got it. I was like, what happened to the space part? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know. I I don't regret, but I think I'm like didn't really think too hard about going to Paris Disneyland when I went. It wasn't like a thing on my head plate at the
Mm.
time. I do the which one has it? The Zootopia Land that's coming out.
I think it's
Is it
Shanghai.
Shanghai?
I believe
Because
so. I don't think it's Hong Kong
okay.
because Hong Kong, I believe, just put up their new castle
Ooh. Okay.
or added their addition to it.
Hmm. Okay. But
So,
yeah, I like Zootopia. So I was like, I would like to do that. I want to
Shanghai
go back to, okay, cool. Yeah, so eventually that would be cool. I know Zootopia is eventually on the plans for Disney World in the next few years. So Moana is coming to Disney, is here, is
is,
here.
yeah,
I just haven't, I was too early. It's okay though. But sorry, okay, going back. What is your continuing your ideal world? So you ended up at the pier with the drinky drink where and then we went to Disneyland. You said you started at Tomorrowland and then you just go from there, just go around in the circle.
yeah. So I usually try to do the shows like Magic Map. I do those like try to do in the middle of the day when it's like really, really hot and like I don't want to be walking around.
Hmm.
And so I go to the back of the park, I do all of those. And then I make my way up and I do um what's it called? What's on that side of the world? Oh, like Indiana Jones.
Hmm.
Um, I do Haunted Mansion. I always try to do those at the end of the night. And
Okay.
then I do Phantasmic.
Now that I've seen it, now I've heard that they are different, Disneyland and Disney World,
Mhm.
but now that I've seen it, I understand because I hadn't seen it this whole time.
It Phantasmic is my favorite show.
Valid.
Say I cry, I so much, so much. And I will forever, when they took it away, that cute little minute at Disneyland, I was very, very sad. So I do that. And then what I always do is I watch the second showing of Phantasmic because there's less people.
Oh, you
Because
got two?
usually, yeah, so there's two showings of Phantasmic. There's
Okay.
one a little bit earlier, and then there's the fireworks show. So people go to the fireworks show, and then the
Mm,
second showing of Phantasmic is going on like
mm,
right before the fireworks show. Um,
okay.
because I think you can see the fireworks show projected in the Rivers of America.
Okay.
Uh, and so either that or Small World. But I go to the second one because it's less. And then where I was sitting, or where we would always sit to watch the show, it'd be right in front of Haunted Mansion. So we would scurry
Just go
after when
right
the
there.
line was empty, get on there, and then we would leave. So Haunted Mansion was always
Mm,
my like last one because I knew that I can get on it right before park close.
yeah.
And so that's why I would do. So it was always like, do we want to watch Phantasmic or do we want to watch the fireworks? Just based on like where we want to sit and stand.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, and like some days I will go from park close to park or park open to park close. Other
mm.
days I'll be there for like 3 hours and I'll get on one ride, eat dinner, and then leave.
Yeah. Which is,
Um,
it always amazes me, which is, that's good though that you've gotten to that point of like comfortability. Um, what I was gonna say was, I am curious, what what are you eating at Disney then? Like, what's making you go for 3 hours? Maybe I'll take a ride, but I'm going for the meal. Like what? Because I feel like I've missed out. I really spent my coin at Disney World. If I thought something was good, I was gonna get it, but I haven't gotten the full experience at Disneyland.
Disneyland, I at California Adventure at the
Mm.
pier, there's like a Mexican restaurant and they have like birria tacos. Those are good.
Actually good. Ooh, okay.
And then in Disneyland at I think it's Carnation Cafe, I will always go to Carnation Cafe and get Walt's meatloaf.
Okay.
Look, say what you want about a meatloaf. That
Yeah.
meatloaf is so good, and the mashed potatoes that come with it are so good. And
Mm.
then I get the fried pickle spears. Look,
How was that?
I love me a pickle. I love me a fried pickle. Now, Disneyland's fried pickles, they know what they're doing. They are the best. I like try to make them at home. They are the best fried pickles I've ever had. That is where I will be getting food. If not there, I'll get food at the Brother Bear place back
Mhm.
near. I also forgot Star Wars Land is there. I also will do Star Wars Land. I totally forgot about adding
Yeah. Hmm.
because the Millennium Falcon ride, I will
Fun
get on.
time. That was
But the Rise of the
fun.
Resistance was not there when I last time I was at Disneyland.
Rise of the Resistance is better.
I know. I know. Okay,
So
Mom.
much better.
I know. Thank you for rubbing it in my face. All right.
Listen, I'm not rubbing it in. You've had more Disney experiences than I have, but I had to say,
That's fair.
Millennium Falcon does not touch Rise of the Resistance. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I did because don't hate me. I'm not a huge Star Wars person. Never watched the movies.
I mean, me neither.
Listeners, chillax. Okay. I was like, listeners, chillax. But I will eat up Star Wars merch and like the vibe of it. Like I love me a Grogu and a Yoda.
I
And
was living my life.
so yeah, like Darth Vader. Like, oh my gosh, like it was just so creative. Um,
I
that's what
will
I
say,
enjoy.
I love everything that Disney has done. I am not the biggest Star Wars fan, whatever.
Hmm.
I think Star Wars Land is one of the, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, is one of the best lands Disney has done, mainly because of the immersion aspect of it. Like, cool, you see the Millennium Falcon, you see the floors, the way that they're made, you see the way the restaurants are made, the drinks is a lot of thought. The one thing that they did that gets me every time, and I'm still getting goosebumps from this, is the sound of spaceships flying over that they have playing
Mm-hmm.
because I would have never thought that that is
To
the
do
thing
that.
that we think about. And when I was there and I heard it, I'd look up and I'd be like, I'm over here thinking that there are full on spaceships flying over my head. Now, that is one thing I would have never thought about.
Hmm.
And he did. And even though it's super simple, that is what gags me about Star Wars Land is that you are so, they thought about the ground, the walls, and the fucking sky.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Shout out to the Imagineers. We now know one now. So shout out to Victoria, who's an
I
Imagineer now.
know.
She icon, icon.
I saw her and I was
Um,
like, wow,
so proud
living.
of her. Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I think Star Wars Land, I think because of its creation is also probably my favorite. But I just think that was the first experience of us seeing like new lands being developed in this time period. Have not seen Marvel Land, but what I have seen from it, it's not really it.
Yeah. It's
They didn't
very
put as
much
much
like
thought into it. It was like a
yeah, no, no.
throwaway.
Yeah, that's what it's and you know what I will say, I think California Adventure has always, in my opinion, have has been the park where there's been a lot. I feel like I'm going to be red for the people who love California Adventure. I think there's been a lot less thought that has gone into California Adventure. I think the way it started, like they had no idea what the park was going to be. Like it was going to be like a specifically California, and then they switched it to like Disney, and then they went to Pixar, and then all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just a lot, not saying they don't think about it. I think as of lately, now that they're adding the San Francisco bridge and the whatever it is, I think they are working towards putting a better identity to California
Mm.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Marvel Land, I think they had a lot more potential, especially the fact that they took away Bugs Land.
Hmm.
Say what you want about Bugs Land. Bugs Land deserved to stay. I
Yeah.
think Marvel Land could have been I think it could have been put on the pier somewhere
Mhm.
else. I think with how little they did, they didn't deserve that much space.
Yeah.
Please, everybody, do not come attack me.
I think people would agree from what I've seen. I haven't been, and I'm taking the opinions of other people, like, and then also what I have seen visually. It just is super underwhelming considering what Marvel, not necessarily is currently, but what Marvel has been.
Like,
I feel like
especially
they
if
could
you
have done a
look
lot,
at Guardians of the Galaxy, look how beautiful that is.
like
And then you have
yeah,
Marvel Land looking like a business park.
yeah, literally, yeah. They were like, we're gonna Tony Stark it. It was
Yeah.
like, um, what I will say, I enjoy, I think what shook me the most, because California Adventures can be underwhelming in like the land section of it all. When I went to, oh my gosh, is this Hollywood Studios? I think it's Hollywood Studios. When I went to Hollywood Studios, yeah, I think it's Hollywood Studios. Oop, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Um, Toy Story Land is so fun. Because I purposely tried not to do too. I researched rides and stuff so we could plan out where we wanted to go. But when I walked into Toy Story Land, I said, "Oh wait, they really did their thing." I'm like looking up at like large Woody and like Buzz Lightyear, and you can see the Slinky Dog just zooming through, and it's perfectly like placed. You got the other ride. We didn't go on Toy Story Mania, and like they're riding around. Like everything's just perfectly placed and colorful
Mm,
and exactly what Toy Story would be. You were like fully immersed, just like you are in Star Wars Land. So I'm like, they did that right because I was totally not expecting that. But
yeah.
that's the
I think
idea.
I think also it goes into like Disney World just has a lot more space to expand.
Yeah.
So like Disneyland just has to think specifically on what they're like Star Wars, they had to take out. And the only reason I know this is because my friend worked there,
Mm.
but like they had to take out so much backstage area for like cast members. They had to take away
Mm,
so much of that for Star Wars Land. And like that's why with Marvel Land, I'm like, they only had like, I'm sure if they had as much space as Star Wars Land, we'd be gagged. I'm sure we'd
mm.
be living in a different universe the minute we step into that space. Like, I'm sure. And so that's why I'm like, okay, so what could you have done differently with the limited space that you have?
I don't know, Daniel. So here's where I disagree. Toy Story Land is not that big, but what they do with their space, they
See,
make it work. So that's what
now
I'm
I just need to
saying.
go to Toy Story Land.
Yeah. So like it literally is small. Like you come to Toy Story Land, you see these big old like toy blocks, and you have Woody, Jesse, everybody kind of like hanging around, and then you have Slinky behind. You have to walk into Slinky, so Slinky takes up a good chunk. You have Toy Story
Uh,
Mania on this side, and then you got their food spot. That's pretty much it. There's another little ride that we didn't go on, kind of similar to the Buzz Lightyear ride, so it's an inside ride, but that's it. Like it's smaller than Star Wars Land for sure. And
interesting.
but it's how you use it. So I feel like if they were more strategic, that's why it feels like they were kind of just like, "Ooh, Marvel's in right now. Let's just do a quick
Yeah.
little Marvel Land
See, and
section
that's
and
where I'm
throw it
like,
away."
I feel like Marvel Land, if they were gonna do it and be super successful, they should have done it maybe 5, 6 years ago.
100%.
Like when we were in the depths of like still waiting for
And
Infinity,
games,
like
or
Endgame,
even yeah.
and like all those when we were still waiting,
Hmm.
like I think they could have done a lot more in like where are we and like how are we as guests being immersed into this space, because this seemed very much like we are at the Marvel at like the Avenger headquarters after everything happened. And I'm
Mm,
like, it seems too clean. It
yeah.
seems too pristine. It seems too like, I'm like, we
Mm,
literally just had a war. Like, can we like screw it up a little bit?
yeah. Interesting. I feel like, I don't know, they could have played
Disney
off
should
it
just
well,
hire us.
right? Put me in. Now, I'm not an engineer, but I could put the imagine in, you know, like with
I'll
imagine.
imagine and they'll near it all.
Right, exactly. Because I feel like it would have even been more fun. I think they know what at this point, especially because they chose to do it later, they know which movies got hype. I would have been like, y'all should have played off of Infinity War and Endgame. Like have Thanos walking around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they could have had Thanos in a costume. Um, like if it's after, then you don't have like Iron Man walking around. Do they have, I'm assuming they have Captain America because he's still a thing.
Their
But
main thing in Marvel Land, I think, is Spider-Man.
which makes sense. Then you can't just have Peter Parker walking around by himself, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
One day I'll see it. I haven't been to SoCal in a very
And
long
see, and
time.
it's like weird because they have Gamora at Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy, and I'm like, Gamora's dead.
yeah. That's
So I'm
true.
like, they should have had Marvel Land a while ago
Well, wait,
to,
but technically, sorry, I don't want to go on like a Avengers thing. She came back though, no?
but not the Gamora that we know.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And so that's, I will say that
Maybe
didn't
they
the
play
new
off of
Guardians of the
that.
Galaxy come out?
Yeah, because that's how I know
I didn't even
the
see
more
it.
ex yeah, the only reason I know bits and pieces because I played it one or I didn't play it, but I was in the room with a teacher who played it one day for in class. And I was like, oh, okay. And because there's a whole thing of when I was there was like, she's not the same, so she's not trying to be with whoever Chris Pratt
Star
plays.
Lord, yeah.
Yeah. That's all I really know. Because I'm not a huge Marvel person, but I did watch like Infinity War, Endgame. My friend Isaiah, I talked about this on podcast when he came on. He caught me up on all the Marvel stuff. Um, and then like I watched Black Panther, Spider-Man, and that's really it. Not a Guardians person. I did watch I vibe with Doctor Strange. I know people that said they didn't really like
Hmm.
the Multiverse of Madness, but I was like not mad at it.
I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I liked it. But apparently people were like, eh. I was like, I like that. Now I don't really vibe with the Ant-Man's 100%, but
Yeah, no.
I like Doctor Strange. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. Um, okay, let me give you a breakdown of some of my favorite rides real quick. Disneyland. I already said Indiana Jones, number one. Um, I for a chill ride, I like Pirates and Haunted Mansion.
Mm.
Like I like
I
chill
totally forgot
rides.
about Pirates. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna ask about that because you didn't mention it, and I was like, oh,
I
you
love
don't go.
Pirates. I'm gonna say this for the universe. I love Pirates, and I'm so so sorry that I forgot Pirates.
I was like, okay, Pirates isn't in the daily list. Um, yeah, I would say Pirates, Haunted Mansion. I like for just like calm chill rides. Yeah, I don't for not you don't need the thrill. I like um Spaceship Mountain when it works and the line
Hmm.
isn't and over 100 minutes long. Um, fun fact, I've ridden that ride with no lights on. I mean the lights with the lights on. It messed up while I was on it. The lights turned on, and I'm just like, woo, tracks everywhere. I'm like
See,
50
that is
feet above the floor.
a goal of mine is to ride it with the lights on.
So you just wanted to mess up. It was
Yeah.
low key scary, but
Well,
we
because
already
sometimes they
know.
do it like
Mhm.
with the lights on. It's like a special thing.
No, well,
It's
definitely
a
this was a mistake because they were like, y'all are gonna go again because we messed up. So I was like, cool, I get to ride
You
twice.
went twice.
Yeah, they didn't make us get off. They were like, you're gonna ride again because we know that we messed up.
It's so
Like,
good.
cool. But yeah, no, you're literally like not even 50. That's not even accurate. You're like almost 100 feet in the air. That's a big old room of just tracks. And I looked down and I said, oh, as we're just flying by.
Just like, oh,
Yeah. Cool. Um, but yes, I like Spaceship Mountain. Um, what else? I do like Big Thunder. Just for yeah. It was like, oh,
yes.
I do I do like Big Thunder. Um, I'm excited for Splash Mountain in Tiana's way. I don't know what they're gonna. Is it just Tiana's Splash? No, right?
Yeah,
It's Tiana something.
I know, I think it's like I have a feeling it's gonna be something on like Tiana's like Bayou boat or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're
Um,
correct. You are right. It's something by you.
Bayou, yeah. Because I know the
There's something else
restaurant, the
there.
area is now called Tiana's Place.
Yes. Which is
But I
so
don't know what the
boring, but
ride is specifically called.
you are correct on the Bayou part. I can't remember the rest, but it's something Bayou. Tiana something Bayou or Tiana's Bayou something. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what that looks like. Um, I haven't been on Matterhorn, so I can't really say. Um, I would say that's it for
You've never
Disneyland.
been on Matterhorn?
No, because remember I told you it was closed when I went, so I've never
Is
been
it
on it.
Matterhorn the bobsleds?
Yeah, I've never been.
Which one am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of Thunder Mountain with the train. Forget what I'm saying.
Oh, LOL. Yeah. And then for California, Love and Credit Coaster, I thought it was fine as California Screaming, right before it was California Screaming. But I like
Hmm.
the Credit Coaster. It gives more of a vibe. I'm
Yeah.
not mad at it at all. I love Soarin' for also a chill ride. And you get to just smell the fake grass and like all the things they spray at you. Um, I've only ridden cars once because, like you said, the lines are like bananas. So I literally only rode. I that was the only time for grad night. That was it. We waited in line, did it. It was messing up while we were on there anyways, and I said, okay, that was cute. Um, I'm trying to think what else in Cal. Oh, well, yeah, Guardians, of course, but I prefer Tower of Terror.
Hmm. Yeah. The ride that I forgot, I always forget, but I think it's an honorable mention, The Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid's Grotto. I think it's a
Okay,
super nice chill ride in
I've never
California
been on
Adventure.
it. Yeah, I've never been on it. So in stop, you're looking at me crazy. I've been on a Disney World, but I haven't been on it at Disneyland,
I'm
California
assuming it's the same
Adventures.
thing.
I'm assuming it's the same thing as well. But I didn't know you just told me something because I did not even know it existed in California Adventures.
Yeah, it's right
When did that become
next
a thing?
to, Goofy's Flight School in California Adventure?
Yes.
It's
Hmm.
like, so if you're walking towards it and you could see it, it's on your right, like way before you pass
Is
it.
that new? Am I late or am
No,
I
it's
late?
been there forever.
Wow. Shaking my head. But yeah, I went in California. Oh my gosh. I went at Disney World and it was cute. I liked it. Line is super short. Nobody's going
Yeah.
there, to be quite
That's why I
honest.
like it because I'm like,
Yeah.
when you're waiting for something and you just want like a cute little chill ride, you get
Yeah.
on it, you sit there and you're like, poor unfortunate souls.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also too, I really love, like you said, Disney World has more space, so you really get immersed better. I like that literally Ariel has her own land and world as well.
Mm.
She legit has a grotto at Disney World and get to take pictures in front of her castle, and they have Gaston's Tavern, and like she has her own world. So that's
Is
where
this all in
the
Epcot
Ooh, I want
or
to
Magic Kingdom?
say, what was I wearing? I think this was
Because I know
Magic
Elsa's in
Kingdom
Epcot.
Day. Magic Kingdom Day. Elsa is in Epcot. This was Magic Kingdom, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, Elsa is in Epcot. That ride is fun. Ratatouille was a vibe. Now, listen, I was like, Ratatouille, like, what are they gonna do? Ratatouille. The Ratatouille ride was fun. I like
See,
that.
that I'm sad. So at Disneyland Paris, they
Mhm.
love Ratatouille, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all the Ratatouille rides
Mhm.
are in Hollywood Studios. So in Paris, they have the Magic Kingdom, and
Mm.
then they have the studios. And the studios
Mhm.
is where they have Ratatouille. I believe they have Tower of Terror there. Um, and they have like that, like the movie stuff over there, and then
Mhm.
everything else. I will say Disneyland Paris is very like, I'm sure if you went in the 90s, it'd be the same thing. Like it
Okay.
does not feel like it has been updated whatsoever.
Like they're not thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Their Haunted Mansion ride though is better.
I've heard about that. But what
I will
makes it
give it to
better?
them. It's actually so I going by myself on
Mhm.
that ride was terrifying. It's
Ooh,
like
okay.
actually scary. You so the storyline of that one is it's a whole bunch of wives who killed their
Mhm.
husbands and now they're back for to like revenge. And so
Mhm.
you follow, instead of following the headless dude, you
Hmm.
follow the literal Grim Reaper. And at
Oh.
some point you see him and like I was scared. I
It was
sat
like a
back.
pop-up jump scare, or he kind of
No,
like,
it was just standing there, but I like it was huge and it like was leaning over. So like I leaned back in my buggy because I was like, this is like
hmm.
a little scary.
Yeah.
And then you get off and you go, the path that it goes off is you go through like a cemetery,
Hmm.
and like they have sounds of like people in the graves and stuff. And like it's
Hmm.
so much more immersive. So
That
much
sounds,
more.
it sounds scary already because you're telling me I don't
Yeah.
just get off and the ride is done.
Yeah. I was like crapping myself on this ride from how scared I was.
Interesting. Good to
So
know. Because yeah, the wife, she only pops up like for a millisecond here or there. So, you
no, but
know,
here you see, and then you see all the husbands at the bottom. Like once you go down, because instead of going into the attic, you go
yeah.
into into like the graves underground, into like the catacomb. So you're seeing
Oh,
everybody dead.
wow. Why is that actually so smart though? Because they have catacombs, so that makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know. I don't know. One day I'll go. Um, what was I gonna say? So, out of curiosity, parades weren't mentioned, but do you have like, so I haven't been to every single one that exists. Because I'm a Christmas girly, I truly enjoy the Christmas parade at night.
Mm.
Do you have a favorite parade?
My, I can't remember, what is it called? It is, oh no. The this is
Oh
na, na, na,
yeah.
na,
I know what you're talking about. The one
na,
that's
na,
happening
na,
right now,
na,
no?
na.
Or it
I
was
think
happening
so.
before Halloween.
Dun, 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 dun,
This
dun,
is
dun. It's the
if you
song
just
that
feel
I
that one?
know Patrick Hall sang it.
If you
Yeah,
just
if you just
believe.
believe.
If
Yeah,
it's something like that, yeah.
Disney parade. Magic happens.
Got it. Magic
Magic
happening. That
happens.
one's nice. I like that one. I
And
haven't seen
I
it
very
in
much I
person.
like a parade for its music.
It's a good song. Hmm. Speaking of music, the current firework, once again, same thing. I don't know the show title, but the fireworks prior to Halloween, which I think are the current fireworks, because I don't think they're doing, well, they could be doing Christmas themed fire. The show for Disney World, and I think
Hmm.
it was fireworks show for
Isn't it
Disneyland at some
the
point.
100 year one? Because I know, isn't it? No, that's Disneyland is at their 100 years.
Yeah, I don't think no, because
I
yeah,
think Disney World had their
Disney.
50th.
Yeah, and I think which is such a odd, like even number for both. Like that was pretty solid. They did their thing on that because I was like, how you have your 50th and your 100th at the same time? Um, but I don't remember the name. But they covered through all of their characters.
Mm.
They have their villain section, which is solid. At the end, my boy Jordan
Yeah, I know which
comes
one you're talking
on.
about. I know which one
Yeah,
you're talking about.
that song and the person I don't know, I'm so sorry, who also sings it with him. That song, I love that song. That's a good song. He ate.
My favorite fireworks show, and it's the one that I saw when I was first there, with my season pass.
Mhm.
And Julie Andrews narrates it. And she starts
Mm,
it by saying, like, in 1955, a man thought of a magical place. And, like, you see with the projections, the orange grows, and then you see it disappear. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
yeah.
And then the last part of the thing is you hear Walt give his opening speech.
Mhm.
And I like bawl crying because I think
Yeah.
that it was also like the experience of it. So like while I was watching it, there was a dad with his daughters on his shoulder, and like they
Mhm.
were just standing there even after the fireworks ended and were just dancing in the middle. And I was like, this is why Disney is Disney. You can talk all you want about it. I know that
Yeah.
there are bad things about Disney, but when
Mhm.
you have a 4-year-old little girl who most likely this is might be her only time at Disneyland because it's
Yeah.
expensive
It's
and not
expensive.
everybody can go, especially when they
Mhm.
have a family. And like for a
Mhm.
4-year-old little girl who's experiencing these fireworks for maybe the only time in her life, who hopefully had the best day ever, I'm gonna start crying.
Mhm.
That is why I go to Disney.
Yeah, which makes
That's
sense.
why I go to Disney. Oh my God, I'm
Mhm.
crying.
Stop,
It's 9
sir.
a.m. and I'm crying.
Yeah, it's too early for that. Um, it's on my bucket list now. I haven't gotten to rich auntie status yet. You know, a girl can dream. I would like to get there sooner than later because I would love, and I can't just take my little sister. I would have to take the whole squad, and I'm not there yet. Listen, they're like, you moved to New York, you're rich. No, I'm
Like, haha,
struggling.
I moved
Why
to New
are you
York. I am
talking
not
about?
rich.
No, that is the opposite. Um, but I would love to take I feel like she would have a blast. That's how I know I've become like this adult now because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see you smile
Mm-hmm.
instead of
I'm
just
like,
being
I want
like,
your life happy.
yeah. So my brain has gotten, even though she's my sister, our age gap as of this point, I'm like rich auntie status up here. But the coins are my bank account says otherwise, but that's what I want to do. Like I would love to take her Disney. She gotta get a little tall. She's tall for her
Mm-hmm.
age anyways, a little bit taller. So maybe I got a year or two and just like, that would be fun. But once again, all the other children have to come. And which is fine because they haven't experienced that either. Like
Mm.
so I think it'd be fun because I'm the only one who has been able to do that. So that'd be fun to do. But let's talk about affordability since we're on that topic. Anyways, um, how do you manage like that cost? Like, how do you get to a point where it's like, I really want to be here? The math ain't mathing because it's gotten more expensive over the years of you being a, person who
Mm-hmm.
visits Disney often. Did you have any tips for budgeting for Disney? How do you get to a point of getting where you
I
want?
think like when I was there, I think obviously like having the season pass
Mhm.
made it easier. I think also being a Southern California resident, it made it easier. It made it less expensive. Um, and I had to get to a point where because like at first it was really hard to be like I'm spending this much money on my season pass. I'm spending this
Mhm.
much money eating there. I'm spending money buying merch there. Um and I had to get to a point where I broke even to feel
Mhm.
okay spending that money. And so I think it might have been a year after having the pass that I was like, okay, I have abused this pass and I have gone
Mhm.
to where like I'm probably making money off of Disney, or
Mhm.
Disney is no longer making money off of me because I've gone more than the
Somewhere.
cost of my pass.
Mhm.
Um, and then with that, like I had my discount with my pass. I had my friend who worked there, so I was able to get some stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but after I think what made it, and this is like where going and have because Disney is expensive, like it's I think atrocious. I don't think Disney should be that expensive. I
Yeah.
think Disney should have limits on prices of tickets, but also I think they should make their tickets one price across the bar. I don't think like yes, I get that summer there's more people, but I'm like
They're gonna update it. So at the time of this drop, it will be updated, I believe. Or are they just taking away reservations and keeping the way the system is? I know they're taking away reservations. Are they
I
going
think
back
they're
to the regular system?
I think they are. I think what I think with COVID, and I think this is just like the world
The
when COVID
previous Bob
hit.
2 messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing. When I was still going, I was hearing a lot of like how like just Disney as a institution and as an industry was really trying to navigate finances, especially coming out of COVID with
Mhm.
different leadership, with different stuff going on.
Mhm.
And I think now they're just trying to save themselves cost wise. I don't think Disney made their money back from the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like, I don't know. I think with Disney, like, especially when I think about like, I want to go with my family. Like my mom has not been
Yeah.
since, I don't know, my grandma has never been. And I would love for my grandma to be able to go to Disneyland at least once in her life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, there isn't even I can't even be like, oh, there's these tips to do it because they're like you just kind of like when buying tickets, I
Mhm.
think the best time to go is like right after New Year's, especially Disney World, right after New Year's,
Let me take my
because
notes.
one like weather wise, you're not going to hate your life, but also there's going to be less people because people have just finished spending how much money over the
Oh,
holidays.
wow,
They
yeah.
just did their holiday trips to Disneyland. And so that I think is the best time. But I think like the sucky part is to save money, you have to go when they're not peak time. So like with families with kids, the best time to go would be the summer,
But oh, yeah.
but like financially that doesn't make sense because those tickets
Mm-mm.
are through the roof. And not only
Tickets
that,
and flight
the
tickets too, if
hotels
you're
and the
in a hotel,
flights is
everything.
like, yes, love me a Disney hotel. I don't want to spend a liver and a
Mm.
lung to spend a night
Just
there.
to sleep, yeah. Mm-mm.
And so I think, and that's where I'm like, I love Disney. I love the world that they have created for people. And I love what they do in terms of how they make people feel and the way, like when, like with Coco, like all this stuff, like they are, I
Yeah.
think as of recently, Disney is doing better in the products that they are putting out.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think they have made Disneyland, Disney World, and it's just a Western thing because Disneyland Paris was like $80.
Oh,
It was
solid.
$80 in the middle of summer. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's a Western thing. Disneyland and Disney World are just going to be more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I think to have like Disney's always going to be there, but I think for it to have its longevity, like prices are going to have to go down.
Yeah, for
Whether
sure.
that's physical prices, like ticket prices, or the prices within the park. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I was there, I was spending $60 on a Spirit jersey every single time I was there.
Yo, I still don't have one because they're too expensive. They're more than that now.
And they went up because they were only like $40.
They keep going up because I swear a Spirit jersey is like 70, 75 something. It's still
They're
why I don't
so
have one.
expensive.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. I had to budget hardcore to make it to Disney World. I had it on my 2023 bingo sheet. I was like, I'm going to Disney something. I haven't been since 2019. I really want to go. Um, Luckily enough, they had for their anniversary, they had their discount for the four go to the four parks of Disney World. You get a discount for it. So you got a discount package. And then we were all like, hey, let's go. And then when you split it for people, that ends up working. With
Mm,
like, travel. I told you how I had points, so I got my plane ticket for basically free. Um, that's what I had to do to make it work. I didn't think put on my bingo sheet, but I truly didn't think I'd go. I was like, my money is not gonna make it work. But I made it work. But it is really expensive because by the time you get there, you spend money on the food.
and especially
Like,
like I think it even changes like because I know that Disney World, unlike Disneyland, is
mhm.
hard to get from park to park.
Yeah, which I also think is absolutely ridiculous.
And so
Yeah.
I think like with that, I'm like with people who are driving, like they have to worry about that if they don't take the like different transportation systems that they have.
Hmm.
And I think it just, I don't know, that in itself makes it.
Hmm.
Disney World is a like cash grab. Like that's why it is what it is.
Hmm.
Um,
They make it more easy for you to get to their parks if you are at one of their resorts. If not, you have a hard time. And even to say you're at one resort, you have an easy time getting to Magic Kingdom, but you may not have an easy time getting somewhere else. And when I went there, that was the biggest surprise. 'Cause I was like, you'd think they'd have like shuttles or some kind of like better system. They have shuttles, yeah, but those shuttles mainly stop at the hotels.
mhm,
Um, and they don't like they don't have good park to park connections. Like they're not really vibing with the park hopper idea, it seems.
mhm. And like whereas like Disneyland, that's
You just cross the street.
they're like
Not your
they're like do
street.
the park hopper, do the park hopper, like
Mhm.
experience both. And so I think that too. I just think like Disney World, you can notice the business aspect of things a lot more than Disneyland.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay. Before we end, I have some rapid fire questions
Okay.
in regards to Disney. Um, And I hope remember they are rapid fire. So the goal is to answer them fast. I'll answer some too. Um, ready?
Yeah.
Y'all, he's adjusting.
I'm
He's
getting
getting
ready.
okay. Um, favorite Disney souvenir, like go-to thing to buy
A spirit jersey.
for Jersey. I
After
love
talking about them being expensive.
I know, right? Seriously. My favorite thing to buy, I like pins, but I don't buy them often. If I had the money, I would buy a backpack every time. I
Hmm.
have two now, so
The
that's
lounge
cool.
flies,
Yeah, I have two. Favorite Disney snack.
beignet.
Ooh. Um, so this is gonna be specific to Disney World. They have this corn with corn on the cob. It's not elote, but they put like this spicy kind of like Cajun vibe seasoning. It's in their Africa section of
Mm,
Epcot. It's really good. I
that
like
sounds really
it.
good.
Um, if you had one ride to go on, only one ride, where would you go?
Haunted Mansion.
Okay. Um, I'm thinking once again, full ride experience of what I've experienced in Disney. I think I would do, I just really liked Mount Everest.
Mm,
It would either be that or Indiana Jones. That's a hard one. So maybe
yeah,
Indiana Jones. I don't know if Mount Everest would take that spot just yet.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
Favorite Disney character.
Ooh, Cinderella.
Okay. I'm going Tiana. I
Paired.
love Tiana. She's my inspo for life. And then a Disney dream goal, like where you trying to go or maybe what you're trying to do in relation to Disney. I'll give you one first to give you an idea. I would like to I'll give you two. Here you go. One, I want to be able to be able to take my family to Disney. Whether it's Disneyland, Disney World, I'd like to do a family trip. That'd be cool. Whether I take them or we all, figure it out because I don't know if I got coins like that. But that's in relation to other people. The other one is going to a Disney park outside of the United States. I don't know which
Paired.
one yet.
Yeah, I think mine, family wise, I want to take my grandma. I really, really want her to experience that, especially because whenever I went to Disneyland, that's all I talked to her about. But I think the other one I want to do Tron, the Tron ride at
Wait, why did I
Disney.
forget about Tron?
I
Wait,
think it's at Hong Kong. I
the
think it's
Tron
Hong Kong or
ride?
Shanghai. I My goal
Yes.
is the Tron ride.
So that was the end of the questions, which is good because I totally forgot about Tron. Here's why it would not be my top right, though. It would be if it wasn't so short. I don't think
Yes.
it's worth the line that you stand in. You're
Yes.
standing in line, and I know it's still fresh. You're standing in line for like 2 hours. They have their whole like um reservation lottery system for the rides or
Mm,
whatever. You still gotta wait in line. But by the you go on the ride's like 2 minutes. At
tea.
that. It's so fast, which is it's supposed to be fast. I get it, but I
They
feel
could
like
have
the
added an
tracks could
extra
have,
track. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but it's so good. Yes. But if I had only one ride, I wouldn't go for the full experience to get the most bang.
Mm,
So I would not say Tron. But then yes, thank you
that's
for
fair.
reminding me. It's a fun ride.
Also, just to see, I really want to see the addition to the Shanghai castle or the Hong
What did
Kong castle.
what did they
They
add?
so it literally looks just like Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland, but
Mm,
um they added like a lot to the back.
mm,
Let's see.
interesting.
And like they just oh yeah, it's Castle of Dreams at Hong Kong. So it just like looks so like the front you could tell that it was the old castle. Let me
Mhm.
see if you can see it. But then they added
Okay.
the back. So like all this is new.
Oh, okay,
Like
that makes
this is
sense because
Sleeping
of the
Beauty's
story.
castle right here in the front.
Okay, that makes sense. They gave it
So
more
they just
height,
added to
more.
it, and I think it looks whimsical and beautiful. And I think Disneyland deserves a bigger castle. Like, love
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty's castle. I think they deserve an update.
Yeah, it is a bit, I mean, people have always said this though, compared to Disney World, it is a bit underwhelming. And I definitely agree. Once again, Disney World has more space. You can obviously
Because
tell they have
Cinderella's
more space.
castle,
Yeah.
beautiful.
They
I am
literally have
sad that I don't
performances
get to
on
see
it.
it.
Yeah. Like it's it's a great time. Also, just random shout out before we wrap up. They're more they have a morning show and like have a morning show in front of the castle. And I think they have one in the midday and they have one in the afternoon. It's great. It's a fun time.
Disneyland needs to get their crap together.
Yeah. For a second, you were so frozen. I thought you froze.
LOL.
And I was gonna
No,
be
I
I was
was
gonna be
just
like,
so
Daniel,
back.
you
I was
still
like,
here? I kept talking though, because I was like, maybe I'll have to edit this later. I don't know. But no, I
ugh.
love it. They have all the characters come out. They have like an experience. Oh, welcome the people in the morning. It's an early show. Disney, Mickey and Minnie come out, Donald Duck, his home Skilly Biscuit. You got Goofy, Tiana comes out, sings a little snippet of Almost There. You got Frozen coming out, Anna and Elsa sing their little snippet. They're dancing with their partners. It's a fun time.
Oh, I'm so
I
jelly.
think that's my favorite. If I'm comparing it to parade shows, it's not a parade show though, because they're dancing in front of the
Mm.
castle. And it's like a 30-minute performance. Um, that's my fave. That was a
And
fun
well,
time.
I'll have to go see it then.
Yeah, we gotta go. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I told myself I've seen people on TikTok do like Disney World in a day. I mean, I would risk it. Hop on a flight. I don't gotta worry about a
Hotels.
room, a hotel. I would do it. Let me know if you're ever down. Um, okay, we're gonna wrap up. But thank you, Daniel, for coming on to my podcast. It's an exciting time as always. Um, Disney is just a fun and magical place. And, I feel like sometimes Disney adults get a bad rep, but it's literally like, why are you hating on what we're doing? And I'm a Disney adult at minimum because I don't be going as ham.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like, it's the pure joy. And like what you said, it's like a place to it's a self-care place. I think about Disney a lot. TikTok knows that because it always shows me people on live. And I'm like, sometimes I can't watch because it hurts a little, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but listeners, if you're a Disney adult, share your own Disney adult stories and memories with us on social media or in the Q&A section on Spotify. Let us know what you think. If you're not a Disney adult, share what you learned in the podcast. It's had an Introvert Social Hour. Please don't forget to follow this podcast to get notified. Share with your friends, share with your family. You can follow me at Kayvon on Instagram and at the Introvert Social Hour on TikTok to stay updated as well. Get some sunshine, get some air, have an amazing, amazing week. And I will see you next week on the Introvert Social Hour. Thanks for joining. Bye.